Hello YouTube, it's Quan again, and I wanted to discuss something as of late that I've been thinking about, and it's finally dawned on me. Concerning the Wii U and its massive influx of ports, and people wondering, oh, why are they bringing ports to the Wii U? And the answer is really simple. If you think about it, of course, the trolls are going to say, oh, because it's crap and blah 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 crap and ho 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 knuckle dragging crap. Okay, now that we got all the immaturity aside, uh, the reason is simple. If you take a look at what happened with the Wii, and when developers tried to bring games to the Wii, they had to think in a totally new way in how to deal with this platform. With motion control, and motion control gaming was just different. A lot of people tried to shoehorn, waggle as they called it. Others tried to come up with, unique twists and different ways of using the Wiimote and the nunchuck controller. Okay, FPSs were for the ground up made for the Wiimote. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, I mean, to me that's like the closest thing to the best control next to keyboard and mouse or trackball, whatever. But in the case of the Wii U, the problem is this. Now you have this whole screen, okay, has all these little features in it, and they're trying to wrap their heads around what to do. Okay, it's not that hard, people. The simple approach would be 3DS approach. The bottom screen's menu, etc. and whatnot. But there's other things. If you take a look at the patents that they showed for the Wii U gamepad, they've showed it being used as a TV screen-like thing with a sensor bar, and you could put the Wii mode at that. You could have two-player co-op FPS with different points of perspective in that fashion. One person using TV, the other one using the gamepad, both using Wii modes. And that could be optional. You could have, of course, change in perspective, like the golf demo when they showed the gamepad on the floor and somebody basically putting with the Wiimote. Okay, you can even go really out there, and if somebody's got like you can add the option, mind you. Now this doesn't have to be a default, an option where you can actually have tilt controls on the gamepad to tilt the hoverboard. But if you have the balance board, guess what? Have the gamepad used for your point of view while you steer with the balance board. I mean, there's different things that they can do in combination with all these motion controls, to take us really deep inside gaming. I mean, take a look at what's going on with the other video game camp, Sony, and they have this little device that goes around the arm, and I think it was brought by a third party, where it projects an image in your hand of whatever device you could be using. It could be a spanner, it could be a gun, a knife, any number of things, which would give you context clues into how to shape your fingers so that the PlayStation, eye can, interpret whatever hand gestures you use to what type of equipment you have in your hand. I mean, even Microsoft with their Kinect and their little IlumaView. Gaming, like I said, can go to a whole new level if these developers would think outside the box and stop being so dependent on this little tiny controller. Everybody wants a default controller, the four triggers, the four buttons on one side, D-pad, two analogs. Okay, been there, done that. But they are afraid, it seems, to try something new, which brings me back to my point. And this is why, if you noticed, a lot of ports on Wii U. They're trying to adapt their gameplay for traditional games that they've made and see where this gamepad fits in, as well as the nunchuck and the Wiimote. The answer was so simple, though, besides looking at the patent for them to find cues of how to do it and clues. Why not just look at the easiest example of them all, Nintendo Land? I mean, if you've done the Metroid game in Nintendo Land, you could see how you can make a full-on FPS with air support and make it work. For those of you who haven't played it, I suggest you watch vids. That's the only way to explain it. Unless you actually physically touch a gamepad and play it, it's kind of hard to describe. You know, well, I'll try my best. 4-player split screen, traditional Wiimote nunchuck FPS controls, while air support is done by the player with the gamepad. They have tilt control, analog control, and swoop in from their own perspective, separate from the split screen. And there you go. Many options that they have. But here's the thing, a lot of them don't want to take the risk. And let's just be honest. If all we're doing is getting more of the same, with just prettier graphics, the game is going to get pretty damn boring, pretty damn quick. Alright? What ideas do you have? And before I sign off, I even have another one. If you know the indie game Faster Than Light, and I brought this up in a comment in someone else's video, I forgot the gentleman's video. There's a game called Faster Than Light, which is an overhead, roguelike, where you basically control a whole crew on a ship with an overhead view. Okay, picture this. You're over here on an overhead view on the gamepad taking care of your ship, while your co-op partner is either on the Pro Controller or the Wii U nunchuck controlling the outside of the ship while it's being attacked. You're on the inside doing repairs, etc. and whatnot, trying to fend off boarding parties and all that, while they're on the outside trying to defend things, and I got the perfect game to drop in there. It's a classic from the 80s and 90s, Starflight. Look it up. Alright, well, I'm done for the day, YouTube. It's been a pleasure, as always. If I don't make too many more videos too often, it's because I'm having problems with, I came back from the doctor and I have nerve damage stemming from the neck. So I'm having sensory problems with both my arms. So lately it's been a little bit hard for me to type. But they'll figure out what they're going to do. More likely than not, it's probably a disc problem. It's an old injury, but yeah. Anywho, enough of that. So, like I said, concerning those different types of gamings, methods that they could use with the gamepad, nunchuck, balance board, what have you, put them down in the comments below. Even the vitality sensor, hell, have jump scares in Eternal Darkness that basically check your heart rate and then find the appropriate time for a jump scare. Anyway, just leave your comments down below, and let's see what we can all come up with. Who knows? Maybe a developer will actually pull their head out their ass and see this and actually do something. But I doubt it. Alright. Goodbye, YouTube.